Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College. We've been talking databases. And I'm in PHPMyAdmin, and I wanted to show you there's two ways that I can actually add data into this table right now. I can click SQL, and I did that before, and actually start putting in data if I want to do that. But I don't want to do that. I want to instead click the Insert button and start putting in stuff in here. Alright. I'm going to try to leave the ID field blank. And I'm going to start putting values in here. So the first social security number is me, 111-22-3333. First name, Jeff. I guess I put Jeffrey. Middle initial, P. Last name, Scott. Address, 755 Par Road. Zip code, 63385. The department number will be 1. Alright? Now if I click go, it says warning incorrect integer value. Alright? And it didn't put anything in there, so I'm not sure if it took that or not. Instead of that like this, I'm going to put in here the word no. See if it takes that, and click go. Column ID cannot be no. Then it should have been basically setting it up for me automatically. Oh, I didn't tell it we wanted to auto increment. That's the problem. Okay, that's not a problem. Let's manually put this in. So we'll put a 1 in there. Click go. Okay, it's in there. How do I know it's in there? I'm going to go back to employees, and there it is. Actually, I'm in there twice, which is not a good thing. So let's get rid of this one right here. Alright, so now I'm in there. As far as I know, everything that's in there is correct. So let's go to insert and let's keep adding. Alright, 2. So I now have 2 records in there, and this is the SQL query that was built. Alright, right here. Duplicate error. I think it already had put it in, so let's double check. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video right now, and I'm going to add the other 8 people in there so you don't have to just sit here and watch me type. Alright, so I'm going to pause and I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Alright, so I've added all of the records, and let's take a quick look. So I'm going to browse, and there is everybody. You'll notice that for Colin and for Evan, where I gave no middle initial, it is null has been put in there. And I'll have to go back and check over this to make sure everything's okay. just taking a quick look, by and large, it looks like it's okay. See, I made a mistake here that was spelled wrong. So I can edit this record and come back here, and that's now correct. And you can see that it's immediately reflected right there. An advantage of doing it this way is hopefully you just notice that as it's much easier for you to go in and make changes. It is at least semi-graphical. All right. All right, and I'm going to just take for granted that that's all okay. Okay, so so far in ACME 2, I now have my departments, and now I can come in here and I can insert into my departments table. I've got to find that information. So department 1 was, I think we put infotech in there. Department 2 was web design. Now I can do a go. Now they're in there. Okay, and I can do another insert. Department 3 is payroll. Department 4 is shipping, and a go. And finally one more, because we had 5 departments, so department 5 will be accounting, and a go. Now when I look at the data, which is always just a browse, now there's my information. That should all be okay right now. All right. So the only thing I'd have left yet to do would be my city, state, zip table. All right, and I'm going to pause one more time because I want to print that out and make sure that I'm again putting it in exactly the same way. Now, I've never tried doing this before, but I don't know why I couldn't come in here and do a shell, do a MySQL -u root, use ACME. I can just use ACME instead of ACME 2. Select star from zip city state. All right, and I'm going to grab this. I'm going to do a screenshot. And I'm going to take this page, which is right here, and I'm going to send that out to the printer just because I want to make sure this is what I put in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., that they're set up like this. Now, one thing I should have mentioned and did not was that it is possible when you set these tables up. So let me exit from here because I don't need to be in here any longer. But just because I'm trying to be complete here with what I'm telling you, is when we did come in for the zip city state and we looked at the structure, all right, when I set this up, one thing I could have set up is I could have had a default value set up for the state. That would have made a lot more sense to put in MO. Then I wouldn't have had to manually add those. All right, so I'm just going to step away and walk over to the printer and grab that piece of paper and then do the inserts. All right, so I've got 4 different cities. So the first one, the ID will be 1. The zip will be 63385. The city name is Wentzville. And the state will be Missouri. The second one will be a number 2. The zip will be 63367. This will be Lake St. Louis. And again, the state will be Missouri. Let's do a go. We've now got those 2 in there. Let's do one more insert. This will be 3, 63304. We should be able to put in OFL and just put in the single quote like that. That should work. I'm not positive if it will or not, but it should work. And again, the state will be Missouri. And finally, the last one, which is 4. That's 63303. That's St. Peters, Missouri. And a go. And let's quickly browse our data. I like to always do that afterwards. Now it looks like I've got everything in here. I've got all of my data in here and everything else. There are still some structural things that I will want to change or add. All right? And what I want you to understand is, again, the stuff that I did here, okay, so I can come back, I can look at the structure again, and I've made that a primary key, all right? And I do want to come back, and there are things that I can do in here, and there's all the other things that it is very hard to do in here. So some of the stuff that you do, it's actually easier to do from the command line, which is what I was doing before. But if I want to come in and, for example, if I want to go in and I want to take the zip code that's right here, all right, and I want that zip code, you know, I've also got that zip code in my employees table, and I want to come in here and in that zip code, I want to make this field a foreign key, and we'll talk about what that is in just a bit. But I can come in here and I can go into the SQL window and I can run a command from here. So notice I can do a select, an insert, an update, a delete. So there's a lot of different things that I can do in here. Okay? I think that's pretty much it, because what I have attempted to show you, and I think I've shown you, is how to create this database both using the MySQL console, all right, or a command line type of interface, and via using PHPMyAdmin. So you now have seen examples of each one. When I come back, okay, I'm going to go back to the ACME one, it doesn't really matter which one I use in here. And I'm going to come in and talk about a little bit about the schema, things that I didn't add that I would want to add, etc. All right, and then we will actually start running some queries. So again, notice select star from employees where 1. If I run that query, that's going to show me everything that I have in the employees database. All right, but what we want to do is not just that, but we want to do select star from employees, for example, where, I don't know, department number equals 3 as an example. All right, and let's see, what does it like here? Oh, it's department number. All right, and now notice all I get are the 2 people who worked in department number 3. So we're going to do a lot of that. I want to be able to show you select queries up the wazoo. I'm going to create several of them. How many? More than 10, probably less than 100, but it might be upwards of 100. Afterwards, I want to be able to also go in there and show you not just the select, which is the most powerful query, but also how to do an insert. We'll add records to each one of the tables, updates where we'll make changes to each one of the tables, and deletes where maybe we'll go in and we will add something and then remove it. All right, so strap yourselves down. We got a lot more to go.